Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a multi-character accessory by me, so let's get into it. Scaramouche. The two of you didn't sleep together in the same bed yet, but you were in the same room. It was a recent development. After all, it started out with the two of you being in separate rooms, and then with him moving to your room and having separate beds. Regardless, most of the nights the two of you slept easy, though sometimes Scaramouche would stay up, but you would never know. You were just comfortable that he was there, and most often it would put you at peace and make all the bad thoughts go away. It just so happened that tonight your thoughts went over, and your mind was really being bad to you. You were having a nightmare, mumbling in your sleep, shaking and sweating, and you hadn't even fallen asleep yet. So it was no surprise when you got up, concerned, and sat down on your side of the bed, holding your hand in his. Oyan, wake up. You're having a nightmare, he says, desperate. He's a little bit worried about you, and he's entirely clueless on how to handle this. Most of the time, he had his nightmares alone, and woke up alone. There was no comfort to be had, nothing at all. So no wonder he had no idea how to offer it. And all of a sudden, he sat up. Your breath too fast, and the way your eyes were so wide, like you were looking for something. Scaramouche held you by the shoulders, making you focus on him. I'm here. You're safe. Nobody's going to hurt you. I'm right here. I promise. And you stare at him as he tells you to take deep breaths. And he holds you close, stroking your hair. He doesn't ask about your dream or what you saw, knowing it can be too much for now. But he offers what comfort he can and holds you, hoping he can make you feel safe and make you forget about what you had dreamt. And thankfully, he drifted back to sleep in his arms. Venti? Venti has done a lot of nightmares. After the war, after his friend died, so many things. So it wasn't like he had a completely peaceful life. Sometimes they would even spring back to him, but for the most part, he gets used to it. And seeing you have a nightmare just instead of the kind of reaction in him. You were sleeping in his arms as he held you tightly, and you started to squirm in them, and he could see the sweat beading on your forehead, the way you looked like to be in discomfort. Moyan, you're having a nightmare, I think. Wake up, he says, trying not to jostle you or startle you. But it didn't seem to work because you were startled anyway, sitting up and scrambling away from him, and you almost tumbled off the bed, if not for Venti's quick reaction as he held you back. Hey, deep breaths, Swan. You need that. It's alright, see? I'm gonna turn on the light, he says, and he does so, letting you look around and assess the situation, seeing that everything around you is just the same, that you're home with him and safe. And as he takes your expression in, he can see that you're calming down, and he opens his arms for you, letting you go into them as he strokes your back gently, singing a soft lullaby to you and trying to make your fears and bad dreams go away. After all, there was nothing more that Venti wanted than seeing you alright, safe and sound in his arms. And in the morning, once you woke up with a clearer head, he would ask you about what you were dreaming about. and see if there's a way you can fix it, or at least help you better with that. He loved you so much, and if there's anything that he can do to make you feel even the slightest bit better, then he sure as hell is going to do it. Xiao. Xiao is familiar to having nightmares. They're a little bit too frequent for him. And though for the most part he can ignore them, he knows that ignoring your nightmares isn't an easy thing, and not most people are used to it. And it's not like most people got nightmares that were like his, and got them so often too. So, as he was watching you sleep, reading a book, he noticed the way you were shifting in your bed, and you started to whimper, mumbling too softly for him to hear. But then your words got louder and louder, and he knew he had to intervene, as he seemed to be having a horrible nightmare. He rushed over to you, putting a hand on your shoulder, but before you could say a single word, you immediately woke up and screamed, scrambling away from him, trembling as you looked around the room and took in your surroundings. Xiao, is there anyone in the room? He asked, crying softly. And Xiao looks at you, shaking his head, and decides to turn on the light. See, it's only me. No one else is around. I was watching over you all night, and I was reading a book. No one came in, I promise, he says, and you nod, slowly, beginning to calm down and realize what's going on. And Xiao takes slow steps towards you and gently brings you into a hug. He kisses your hair and holds you close, whispering words of comfort into your ear. And then, you could stay up with me, he says. We could go on a walk. You need some fresh air. And you could watch the stars until the sun comes down. And then you can go right back to sleep, if that's what you want. He did that sometimes, and it would always help. And as he saw you nod into his shirt, hugging him tighter, he felt better, knowing it was the right thing to suggest. And that's how he teleported with you in his lap, as you were snuggled up in his arm, while he pointed out the stars in the sky for you. And hopefully, in the morning, you would feel all better, and that horrible dream can be long forgotten.